welcome back to the Insurance Guru. My name is Ayanda Malele and I am still on the series talking about underwriting questions that get asked so you can understand why they are asking them and why your premium will not work out to your friends or your neighbors' premium. So the next part of underwriting is that of the risk itself, and we are still talking about vehicles. The next section will be about the car itself, the risk itself. What car do you drive, and what is the make and the model and the engine, etc. This then will give us a general and a better understanding of what the premium is going to be. First, they ask you make and model. So make and model, why are they asking you that? Firstly is to get the value of the car, because your insurers will pull that from Mead and McGrath. There's different organizations now that do the pricing of vehicles, current retail, trade, or market value of the vehicle. So it pulls out how much the car is worth. Already that will give an indication of what the premium will be, because the higher value the car is, most likely the premium will attach to the same value as opposed to a lower value car. But also obviously with everything else we've discussed with a regular driver and parking, if the car is expensive but everything else is great, then the premium might be a bit less. So it's all dependent, but obviously we need to know the car and the value so we know how much this insured item will be. The other reason why they need to, or we need to find out the car make, is to understand, how likely is the car going to be in danger of people wanting to take it away from you without your consent or knowledge. So certain cars have got or attach a higher risk than others. There's a certain car that I used to drive and I always defend my car, but people say I got lucky. But I drove this car for a very long time and it was white, and this car was bright and anyone could have, but they didn't. But these cars or certain brands are attached to most likely to get stolen or hijacked because of certain things. The other reason why, the car is important is there's certain makes of cars that they don't make in South Africa. And so to get a part will take forever. So you'd have to fly a part from that country to be fixed in South Africa. So already that will also make the insurer think, if it's this type of car, might have to just charge a slightly higher premium because it's hard to get the parts as opposed to another car. But there are some cars where the robber will steal your car and bring it back and say no thanks. But there are just cars that no it's to steal, you are safe, and insurers know this, because when they get claims for a hijacking, they obviously collect that information and then they're like, oh, this is a trend, these are the most likely vehicles that get hijacked, as opposed to this one, we've never had one person come and claim for hijacking or theft, because no one does. Obviously model and engine capacity are also important. Engine capacity also will inflate obviously the price, but engine capacity also will play a bigger role, especially when it comes to regular driver and engine capacity. Because if you're going to give me an 18-year-old an S3, with that you can't have a good or cheap premium, because an 18-year-old with an S3, a turbocharged car, the likelihood of an accident happening are very quick and easy. So that is why engine capacity is also important, because it will tell us a bit about how likely it is to speed, and based on the regular driver, if the premium should be adjusted or not. So I might have moved a bit, and I had to dash off somewhere, but I'm back. But to continue with the video, the other question that they will ask in terms of your vehicle is the color of your vehicle. The color of your vehicle is very important because it tells us, can we find it in the dark or not? Because if it's a black car, at night, if I steal it and put it in bushes, it's very difficult to find, as opposed to a white car, it's just there. Which is why a certain car rental company used to only hire out white vehicles, because they are easy to find in the event of theft. So in the event of theft, they look at really the color, because black cars are tough to find. Black cars also in the dark, where there's no lighting, people might not see it when they're coming from behind. So most likely one that would be rammed from behind, because no one can see it properly. So color does make a big difference. Also in terms of, if you look at color from a metallic perspective, metallic is more expensive to repaint as opposed to a non-metallic vehicle. When we look at those specialist colors that other nice cars have, bullet, what is this? That matte black, I love it though, like a bullet black or whatever it is. So those kind of things, they factor into the premium, because when you have your bumper bashing, what is going to be the cost to repaint the car? Is it going to be easy as well to be able to repaint it, or must we order it special from BMW or from Audi or from Porsche, etc.? So the color of the vehicle is also important in terms of determining your premium. When we just look at those things that I've discussed, so it's really the make and model of your car, it's the engine capacity, and if it's been boosted, and it travels a bit faster. And then we look at the color of the vehicle. The last thing that we look at as well is the security of the vehicle. Security is very important, especially with high-risk vehicles. So high-risk vehicles, there's certain vehicles that the standard factory-fitted immobilizer and alarm is good enough. But there are certain cars that, because of the high incidence of theft, etc., they need to have additional, tracking device, because that's just how high risk the vehicle is. So based on your car make, and if you do have a tracking device, it needs to either be linked, or it doesn't have to be linked, but something of that nature needs to be in your car. So security need a tracking device, but you actually have it already. It does reduce your premium because your insurer knows that there's some sort of part that you're playing in trying to prevent your car from being stolen, as opposed to just doing nothing at all. Anyways, I really hope that you enjoyed this series, especially the one where I'm discussing vehicles. And if you have more questions about vehicle insurance in terms of the underwriting and why certain questions get asked that I might have missed, please do so in the comment section below. And please please subscribe, tell your cousins, your friends, and everybody in your workplace to subscribe to my channel and keep on watching. Thank you so much for supporting.